It's not solo leveling.
I mean, that's
a
why
good
I'm thrown
question.
off. Solo leveling, online co-op, huh? Do you play as the summons? How does that work?
Hey, I just got an alert. Dicejunkies is now live. What?
All right. Huh. That is just weird. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you can have co-op in the solo leveling world, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, apparently you can pick to play as Sun Jin Woo or other hunters from the story for the co-op mode. So you could actually be DPS or support. Now that's actually an interesting concept.
Is it one of those games where it's whoever's hosting, it's their world, and you come in, but you don't get any progress, or you can't bring in your characters?
Not looked that deep into that game.
Was it like Code Vein, or it was one of those that did that.
Code Vein. That was Code Vein. Yeah, it was the worst co-op experience we ever did. Like, you couldn't save, you couldn't, and it's a Souls-like, but you couldn't refill your crap. Like, you couldn't go to the thing to refill your heals, so you were on a limited number of heals. You couldn't really leave, like, that map. You were, like, stuck on that map, because if you went to another map, it kicked the person out. But the fact that you couldn't heal yourself meant that it was a very short co-op, because it's like, oh, well, I'm taking too much damage. I have to kick you out of my game because I can't heal while you're in my game. It's really bizarre. It was the most bizarre implementation of co-op I'd ever seen in my life. To the point that I believe that the Code Vein 2 that came out, I think they just ditched that. Like, I don't even think it has the multiplayer anymore.
I don't know, man. There are a lot of bad co-op out there. I mean, as much as as much as Where Winds Meet is an awesome game, it has one of the worst co-op.
Oh, there's a lot of stupid in its co-op. You're not wrong, sir. Yes, there's a lot of stupid in its co-op. There's a lot of dumb.
So, I mean,
it's definitely one of those moments of, are you an idiot? Yeah. This is the dumbest co-op implementation I've seen.
There's a lot of bad co-op out there, but
I just want something that's not. I don't even want great co-op. I want competent co-op.
Competent co-op.
How dare you request such a thing?
Not even good. I just want something that it doesn't hose the other players. You can actually play.
Well, I mean, here's the joke. I looked it up, and Code Vein 2 does not have the co-op anymore. They took it out. They realized, and they gave the hell up like they should because they suck. I'm actually tickled that Code Vein 2 does not have co-op anymore. They just took it out. They just said, yeah, that was bad. We're sorry. And it's like, you should be sorry.
Was the last good co-op game we had Remnant 2?
Probably. Because as much as I enjoyed Dead Island, well, Dead Island was fine as a co-op game. Was it a great game in and of itself? No. Was its co-op problematic? No, the co-op part wasn't problematic.
No, but it also wasn't Dead Island. I mean, if it
absolutely
call
not,
it a different zombie game, then it'd been fine. But the open world was so limited that it wasn't. It didn't have the same. It was not a proper successor to Dead Island 1.
Yeah, I mean that type of for that type of co-op. Now we are playing a co-op game, but it's more of a coexist co-op.
It's survival, yeah, no.
It's because survival games don't have a lot of objectives, so there isn't really a lot that we can get together and like, oh, guys, let's all get together to go do what?
Dragon, yeah. Let's go fight the failed dragon.
That's about it, and that was a miserable experience.
But I am kind of curious what they're going to do when it gets out of pre-release, because it's supposed to be coming out this year into 1.0 access. And I'm curious if they're going to reset the story, which I'm assuming they will. I don't want to have to rebuild everything all over again.
I don't think they will.
Piss me off.
Or they won't reset your world. You may have to, like a couple of times, like I have an older character that I've been playing on for almost a year and a half. And
by the way, it's 3:36. You know that, right?
I mean, we're live, dude.
Oh, you gotta let me know, man. I could have been changing.
I literally
profanity.
said, "All right, we're live."
You don't freaking listen to you.
Bloodaxe said, "It's 3:30."
Hey, I especially don't listen to him.
And then why are you complaining about us not telling you something? Because obviously it doesn't matter how much we say, you won't know.
Yeah, you're right. So anyway.
But anyway, as I was saying, with my character that I've had for a year and a half, I got back on him recently, and where all his stuff and progression and all that was there, some of his quests had gotten reset. I guess things that they had modified got reset. But once I completed those, it put me back to where I was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like your base didn't get messed up, which is what he's worried about.
As a matter of fact, my base is the surroundings is slightly different than the base that we originally had because they did actually modify those lands. So if you ever go to my base and you go to the edge of it, the ground will have a sudden shift because they actually modified the land. But anywhere I had something built, it said, all right, well, we're not going to mess with where you've built. So just have some, like one of my teleport locations I went to, I was like surrounded by mountain all around me because they had put a mountain where my base was, but wasn't there originally.
You're just this little divot, this little calm spot in the storm.
So, but yeah, so I doubt they'll reset, man.
Well, I pointed out that I see where they're planning to add stuff. You can see it. Remember I told you I could see some structures? I think they've now started seeding some of those structures on the map and then putting up that you can't build here that we kept seeing.
Yeah.
To avoid that happening.
I mean, it's a good idea. You just put a barrier that says, hey, you can't go here yet. We can go ahead and make our modifications live. That way, when we do finally turn the switch, they've actually already been there the whole time, and it's not going to cause a massive change to your world.
Yeah, according to this, it's supposed to go live with 1.0 sometime this spring, so it's not far away. You're looking at the next 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I figure there'll be at least one more biome that they go live with between now and 1.0.
I have predicted that we will gain a lava biome.
Yeah.
Volcanic. To follow the elemental themes.
If you missed any of that, we were talking about Enshrouded. It's a survival game on Steam. I think PC only.
It is coming to other consoles upon release, though. So Stay tuned for that. I did confirm that.
My Orkin man came by today and yesterday when I was playing it, and he was mad because he saw me playing. He was like, "Oh, what game is that?" And I told him, and then he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "It's relatively cheap on Steam." And he's like, "What about console?" And I was like, "No,
not yet."
Look, man, we have joined the PC master race. Okay, we've even pulled Bloodaxe up out of the trenches of slop. Now he gets to look at Microsoft atrocities, and he doesn't have to take it personal at what Xbox is doing
technically,
now.
he's still on Microsoft, so.
Okay, Xbox atrocities. He doesn't have to be a part of the suffering. He gets to be like, oh, man, that sucks. Luckily, that ain't me.
No, it's not me. And I was PC for years, but it wasn't until Xbox Live came out. I'm like, this looks fun. And but yeah, it took me 20 years to flip back around again. So,
all right. Yeah, now that we've shown our age, let's get started. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And
Apparently nobody.
maybe, did he lose audio?
You were introduced, Bloodaxe.
All right, I'll say it for him. Bloodaxe. All right.
Bloodaxe.
Let's get started. Where you want to start? We'll start in Rumorville. Rumorville shall start us off with
Blade. All right, let's try that again with the Bloodaxe. There we go.
Oh,
sorry.
There's blood.
He's here.
Yeah, I cannot wait for my speakers to arrive. They don't. I was not aware I needed to buy speakers because whatever. Anyway, let's get into the topics. I have no idea where you're starting at, so y'all just forgive me.
All right, Blade MCU movie gets another update after cancellation rumor. So basically, it's one of the scooper. He said, she says. One scooper says that he has inside information. The Snyder says that Blade was canceled and that it would not have a solo movie, but instead would appear in Midnight Suns. Then James Mack apparently said the Snyder is acting crazy. Blade was definitely not canceled. So we started off with Blade news, and then we ended right back where we started from.
Well, I believe the first guy more than the second guy because I just can't see the Blade movie coming out at this point. I mean, we're 6 years. We have no idea what it's about. None. Like, it has actively, repeatedly been basically said, yeah, no, it was going to be, we're going to kill Blade and replace him with his daughter. And now it's like, well, no, we're not going to do that. And they're all over the place. Mahershala Ali is now over 50 years old because it took so dang long. They're literally aging their actor out, you know, because it's like, that's how slow they're taking. So it's just it's a crap show. So I'm team. I don't think it's coming out. I mean, where's the trailer? Where's the announcement?
I mean,
there's not even an estimated release date for the movie, is there? I don't even think it's on their what's that thing they have where they
the
roadmap?
Or
Yeah, they'll have it. Let me see, because phases. They have the phase 5, phase 6. Let me see, Marvel.
But yeah, nah, man. I mean,
what are we in phase 6?
The thing is, I think the
5?
reason why the Snyder is so easy to believe is we all sort of have already predicted its demise. Like everybody's already sort of like, yeah, we're not getting the Blade movie. So it's an easy rumor to believe. But at the same time, it is a rumor. So we'll once again, we'll have to just sort of wait and see. I mean, there's just a lot of poor signs here. Everything from where Ali didn't voice the last animated Blade when that showed up in Zombies, which was weird, to just radio silence for as much as we got radio silence. So
yeah, because it was announced way back, but it didn't show up in phase 4. It's not in phase 5. So is it now going to be part of phase 6?
Where are the Midnight Suns in the phases?
September.
Have they announced the Midnight Suns on a phase?
Well, here, let me say this, because it was delayed to September. Then it was delayed to November 7th recently. And now there's just no date at all, I think. Oh, in October, Disney removed Blade from its release calendar. So there you go. It was removed from the release calendar. So, I mean, it's not even on their release calendar anymore. So I'm like, what do you want from these people, man? It's not even on the release calendar anymore.
Yeah, so for phase 6, right now we've got the Fantastic Four, Last Steps, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, which could or couldn't be good. And then we got Doomsday and then Secret Wars. But, I I don't even see where there would be an interesting way to even incorporate Blade to where it would make sense in Phase 6. You're looking at Phase 7 or beyond, but by that point, we're going to be looking at probably mutants and X-Men. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to be more interested in X-Men than I am going to be a Blade reboot. Now,
yeah, I'm under the wiki, and there is no projected date for this movie. So that second guy got paid off, or is just trying to get attention, because they removed it from the release count. Like, they removed it. The Marvel themselves took it off of all their release calendars and their phases. How can you say they're still making a movie? What on earth? The other guy says he at least has an insider leak. The second guy, just saying he's wrong with nothing to work on. You may say so's the first guy. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not true. The first guy could make that statement based off the fact that Marvel's removed it. Marvel has removed it from their calendar. I'm looking. I'm right now. Like, you see the glow on my glasses. Like, I'm looking at it, and it's like, yeah, there's nothing about this. Apparently, they're searching for the third director for the movie. See, they don't even have. Apparently they're bouncing around directors. Yeah, negotiations fell through to get Cary Joji Fukunaga. So at the moment, we don't even know who's going to direct the dang thing.
Yeah, and Flynn's asking about who's going to be in the Midnight Suns. I remember the video game that came out, Midnight Suns, but I didn't know anything about an actual show property that's going to be Midnight Suns. Yeah. And I'm having a hard time finding anything about that at all, other than the shorts. So, do y'all have anything on the Midnight Suns television property?
Nah.
Man, I've heard of it, and that's about it. And honestly, I was never big into the Midnight Suns. If Flynn gives it a thumbs up, I might check it out. But what I heard of it did not impress me as a story arc by itself. You know, so I never really delved into that particular story. I know some of the game. I saw some pretty interesting moments between Spider-Man and Venom that are in the game. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but the overall arc is just sounds like it's just you know, something super evil showed up, turned some of the other people into. I mean, I think they've done that arc before, so I don't think it got my attention. I think it's like, oh, some people are possessed now, and you got Demon Hulk or something. They did that before, I think, with Thanos making them into the Horsemen. So
yeah, I don't know anything about. Yeah, I mean, other than the game, I don't know anything about Midnight Suns, so I would rely on Flynn's knowledge because he knows more about some of these.
So there's no official announcement of Midnight Suns from Disney, Marvel, but it is claimed that Marvel Studios did have plans for it, and it was supposed to be characters like Blade, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, and Wolf by Night. They were expecting. There's rumors around the 2028 to 2029 for that, but it's also.
I mean, the game for the Midnight Suns is 80% off on Steam right now. So, and I think it did okay. Like, I think it did okay. Let me see. When did it come out? Let's see how. Let's just what's the release date on this? Getting old. It was released in 2022. Still 80% off feels like a lot for a game that's only 3 years old, but not insane, I guess. But that is still a massive. Like, there's games 3 years, there's games 10 years old that aren't 80% off. And it's a promotion, though. So, I mean, the 80% off sale ends in January 19. But, yeah, they did a video game. I know that it was a video game, and I'm assuming, I guess it's based on a comic run, maybe. But I know they did a video game, and the video game did all right, at best.
Yeah, the fact that it's 80% off is actually impressive, but I don't know if it's something I'd even be interested in playing. Especially not that old.
It uses the SOCOM. Is that the one? Am I saying it right? Xeno, the SOCOM, you know, the bad tactical engine that they did for Shadowrun and all that.
XCOM.
Yeah, XCOM, excuse me. It does the terrible XCOM engine, and I hate that engine so much. It is the most unpleasant way to play a game to me. I'd rather have turn-based. If I had to choose between that and turn-based, I'd do turn-based before I'd do that again. Because I played all the Shadowrun games. I played Divinity 2, and that engine to me is god-awful. It makes combat painfully slow and grueling. And not as tactical as they hoped.
This is single player anyway, so it's not something I probably would pick up unless I can play with a friend. So forget that.
All righty. So, I mean,
I heard
just another one of those. What's that?
I'm talking to Flynn, but I heard it got good reviews, Flynn, but like you said, it did not sell well, though. That's the problem, man. Reviews don't mean nothing if it didn't make any money to these people. That's probably why the show is not being, because I think they talked about the show around the same time the game popped out, and the game didn't sell that well, and now... But you know what? We probably can find more about Midnight Suns TV show than we can Blade, because like we said, I'm not seeing anything, man. They don't even know who's going to direct the darn thing. How can you say something's still going to be done, and you don't even have a damn director? And Mahershala Ali is doing other stuff. He, went on. If I'm right, he's already started doing other projects. So who's playing Blade? Is he even still playing Blade? Like they said, he didn't voice him in the What If, so...
I mean, even in his 50s, I don't say that would be... I mean, if it was a one-shot, maybe, but you can't really do a multiple film franchise with someone that's going to be, in their 50s.
That's why I say that. I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm not a young guy either, but that's why I'm not suitable to play a younger character that needs to be an action hero. Because like they said, it took him 6 years to get this out.
Give me Wesley Snipes instead, dude. I mean, seriously.
I say you want to give yourself at least enough room to get about 5 movies out of somebody, and that's about 10 years. I believe that a minimum of 3. Okay, you should be able to at least get 3 movies out of somebody. That's still about 6 years or so out of someone. You don't want somebody to be dang near geriatric by the end of your movie arc, especially when you pick a character who's not really supposed to age. I mean, Blade's half vampire.
Yeah, no, he has highly reduced aging, yeah.
Yeah, so you create a bit of a... But why do you think they keep recasting Spider-Man? It's because nobody really wants to see grown Spider-Man. We all remember Spider-Man when we were teenagers. That is the Spider-Man we remember, so they keep going for that. Plus, younger crowd, get a new generation going. I mean, I'd watch an older Spider-Man. But I understand that my kids don't want to see older Spider-Man.
Dude, it's the problem of the slow aging or ageless character. I mean, we had the problem with Wolverine, in the X-Men. We had the problem with Highlander, It's like these characters, they're not supposed to age, so you keep having to doll them up more and more with makeup to try to keep them, And it's hard to do that when you don't start with a young actor.
Well, that's why shows are better, though. The thing that Highlander had going for it is that because you're cranking out constant episodes, you can get a lot of content out of a guy.
Yeah.
But like you said, movies have this problem of having gaps of years. So the last time you saw this person, story-wise, the last time you saw them, they were 20, and it looks 20, and they're still supposed to look 20. Whereas on a show, dude, the time it takes to make 3 movies, the show's on season 4 or 5, man. They got their money out of it. They cranked out a bunch of seasons. So it's even worse. To me, a Spider-Man show would be really good. You'd get a lot more mileage and material out, and then you eventually end the show or grandfather in, a new character. But the movies with these 2 and 3 year gaps sometimes, I mean, look at this. They announced the movie 6 years ago, Blade. Jeez, man, 6 years to get a movie out. Imagine if they had done that with Spider-Man. You're supposed to be doing Spider-Man in high school, but now you got a dude who's 30 trying to play Spider-Man as a high schooler because you took 6 years. But I don't believe it'll come out in the form they announced. If we get a Blade movie, it will not be the movie they announced. It will be a completely different thing. That's what'll happen. It'll be a new Blade, new director. Paul Feig will have been locked in a closet so it can actually be good. Maybe a certain person will, for once, actually have left. Let's segue into that. Maybe certain people who poison the well of any product that's Star Wars and even adjacent will be gone, and we can get a good movie. So let's talk about rumors.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those rumors. I guess this one has a little more credibility than they have in the past, but at the same time, I won't believe it until I see it, man. But there are rumors that Kathleen Kennedy is out.
Dude, it would be Spider though.
You brought it up, brother.
I mean, well, no, Bloodaxe brought it up, and I'm speaking on it. Bloodaxe brought it up. Here's the problem with Kathleen Kennedy, and then because I'm going to let him talk. I got one thing I want to say. When it comes to Kathleen Kennedy, you follow anime rules, which is you wait until the dust clears and you see a body. You don't go, did you get him, while the dust is still in the air. You know what I'm talking about, Dragon Ball Z rules. Did you get him? It's like, no, like, you're right. Until I see her fired, so I don't want her just fired. I want to see her already working somewhere else. Because I told you, I don't want anybody to be unemployed. I don't wish that on anybody because I need my job.
Well, they say Kathleen Kennedy.
I want her working somewhere else.
Yeah, they say Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down. Not
they have to punt her out the window. She said she'd set that place on fire before she leave. So if she's stepping down, hide the kerosene. They got to fire her. They want to get her out and have anything left.
Yeah, and it says it's unclear if Kathleen Kennedy will be completely phased out from Lucasfilm or simply step down from any leadership roles and remain as a producer or several upcoming Star Wars projects. So by this, the rumor that Screen Rant's presenting here is that she's stepping down. She may not be gone. There's just going to be new leadership.
All right. We've had this talk, Zeno. We talked about this about the Ghost of Tsushima. All right. So I'm going to remind you again. Nobody gives up power willingly. Kathleen Kennedy is one of the most egotistical, power-hungry, arrogant individuals I've seen in the media. I've watched her. I've seen her talk. I've seen her attitude. We've got her quotes that they caught her saying. She is absolutely not willingly going to let someone step in and fix Star Wars because it would ruin her legacy. And she knows that they have a guy, the other guy, not the Filoni. That him?
I mean, Dave Filoni is who they say will be stepping in.
Her fear is that Filoni would be put in that position and show that she is the most incompetent person that Star Wars could have ever been put in the hands of.
I'm not even sure how. I mean, what has Dave Filoni done for us?
No, that's not him. That's not him.
You're thinking of John Favreau.
Favreau. That's
John Favreau is not who's supposedly replacing her. It's supposed to be Dave Filoni.
Well, of course. Because her fear is that Favreau will replace her and that he would show her up dramatically. Filoni's a loser. So, Filoni sucks. I can't remember what did he do last. It was so awful. Was he the Acolyte guy? Ahsoka. He messed up Ahsoka bad, too. Ahsoka was... I have never seen a Star Wars franchise that made me want to fall asleep more than Ahsoka.
Leslie Headland was responsible for the Acolyte, and I'm assuming Dave Filoni had, fingerprints on the Acolyte and everything else that's been happening in Lucasfilm, but Dave Filoni is a yes man. While he worked with George Lucas, his claim to fame is the creation of Ahsoka Tano for the Clone Wars back before Disney got their little grubby paws on it. His ability to lead is so diminished that they're bringing in Lin Brennan just to be able to help with some of the leadership aspects of it. So I don't have any faith at all in Dave Filoni as a creative. And I don't think John Favreau wants to come within, in any reasonable distance of taking over Star Wars. He just wants to go and create. Now,
I mean, Favreau has enough. He has enough cred with his early works with Marvel Comics that, yeah. I mean, touching Star Wars at this point is a bomb. It's a trap.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's going to take a complete retconning of the sequel trilogy to get any kind of buyback in from the hardcore fan base. But then you're going to upset some of the, what's a good way to put it, the modern audience that really kind of latched on to what pissed off the original hardcore fans. And so it's a no-win situation. If you continue with the same slop, people like me aren't going to come back. If you retcon and try to bring people like me back, then you're going to upset the younger generation that this was their sequel trilogy versus the prequel trilogy, which is what my oldest son grew up on. So it's a no-win situation. And so I wouldn't want to be responsible for that. And I think Jon Favreau is too smart to even be involved with it. And Dave Filoni, he cut his teeth with George Lucas. And he's been, holding and grabbing the coffee cup for Kathleen Kennedy ever since she took over Lucasfilm with the acquisition. That he's probably going to continue status quo, which just means, again, it's not something that you or I or anyone is going to be interested in from a hardcore fan stand base. Well, actually, Xeno, you weren't even a big Star Wars fan coming into it, unlike me, which is a Star Wars-aholic. So none of this is going to be interesting to me. Now, if they want to do something completely brand new in whether it be an Old Republic setting or something of a different timeline, and leave the Skywalkers out of it, they might be able to gather enough of a fan base creating new properties, which, I mean, it's a massive universe. There's no reason why you need to keep coming back to the Skywalker well.
Well, and so I mean, that's what Jon Favreau did when he did get in Star Wars that little bit. I mean, Jon Favreau, he came in, he did like I did when I first played my first game of golf, man. I hit such a good run on my first game of golf. I was like, I will never be able to top this. So I just left, Jon Favreau came in, and I mean, he was essential for The Mandalorian. And I know he's had his foot and his toe in a couple of other things, but he did the first season of Mandalorian, and he knocked it out the park, man.
Yeah, and he did the second season, and we were all amazed by that. But then he did the third season, and he completely erased all of the goodwill and all of the excitement because they had to keep selling more Grogu toys.
I mean, I feel like the third season though had less of him and more of the corporate finger on the on the scale.
Kathleen Kennedy was determined to ruin that. Kathleen Kennedy said she will burn Star Wars to the ground. I believe her. I believe that she's an honest woman and that she will ruin it before she allows anybody to enjoy anything about it. Now, to say about Filoni, now remember his tie to the Acolyte. It was rumored, not confirmed, that the inspiration for weird lesbian space witches was his wife, who's apparently a Wiccan or something. And there was a lot of talk back and forth. I think some things he may have said about the show implied that he was big in the idea of lesbian space witches. So that's when I just said, okay, man, he done got on that sauce. And I don't want him touching any Star Wars, because if he looked at the Acolyte and thought the Acolyte was not the worst atrocity, I would rather the Star Wars Christmas be canon than Acolyte. The Star Wars Christmas special, I'm far more could accept being canon and watch that than the Acolyte. It is the worst thing to happen to Star Wars possibly I've ever seen. And anybody that approves of that, I don't think needs to be running anything with Star Wars. So Star Wars is dead. We're going to get more. We're going to probably get Acolyte season 2, 3, and 4 now. And his wife will play the new Coven head. There you go.
That's fine. But, I mean, if you wanted to go with that story, I mean, he was already involved with the whole Witches of Dathomir which was interesting. Yeah, you could have gone down that path and actually had an interesting show, but no, they wanted to bend over the Jedi and they wanted to make them out to be bad guys, and
it
they
would have made a lot of sense.
Perverted everything that was already in place that could have been an interesting story. The fact that if you wanted to take the Acolyte as a principle and hey, okay, this is the Sith doctrine and teachings, and tell it from the perspective that the Jedi are evil, and these are the reasons why. There's plenty of ways you can tell an interestingly good story about that, but they completely turned it on its head and decided they wanted to pitch an agenda, and a very badly dressed up one at that. So,
Dude,
and John Favreau, he's doing the Mandalorian Grogu film coming out in a couple of months anyway, and so I don't have a lot of faith that he's going to be able to turn it on its head and be able to actually give us anything of good quality. So it's going to be a while before I'm going to be excited for anything regarding Star Wars. I'm more excited about the original 1977 film coming to theaters for its 50th anniversary. And it's supposed to be unaltered, George Lucas cut. So I'll probably go see that. But other than that, dude, this means nothing to me. Even if she does get shit canned, I won't care until they do something that's actually in the vein of Star Wars that I grew up watching. And they haven't done anything like that in the past 13 years.
Well, like Flynn is saying that the show had bad characters. No, it had a bad story, execution. It messed with the lore across. It just is a trash show. Now, I was just going to agree with you. I was trying to back you up that actually you made a very good point. If they had made the Acolyte about the witches of Dathomir, and they had kidnapped the witch of Dathomir, this one Jedi had fell secretly to the dark side, got obsessed with the child that was a witch of Dathomir and brainwashed her to think she was a Jedi. Because everybody's interested in the witches of Dathomir. It's an interesting story arc. I would like to know more about the witches of Dathomir. It would have, I think, been a much better story. First of all, it would have been more canonical. Two, it would have made more sense. Then instead of it being the Jedi are bad, it could have been the guy who kidnapped her, the guy who took her in and brought her in, and the Jedi don't know. They think he just came in with the kid that has force sensitivity. They don't know that he, stole her from a convent of witches of Dathomir. That would have been a way more interesting story and made sense. But to do that, the people who wrote it would have to know enough about Star Wars to do that. And that's the problem. They didn't know a dang thing. They were completely lacking knowledge.
Filoni was involved with that storyline with the, what was it, on the planet Mortis with the witches there. I mean, you already had in canon stuff that would have made sense, and they chose to ignore it.
But it wasn't written by Filoni. He just is in support of that.
It was written by Lucas, and Filoni was on the team.
Oh, well, that makes it even worse. Screw that guy then. Oh my God,
exactly.
He was on the Acolyte? That is terrifying. He's a talentless hack then. All right, move on.
He's an ass clown.
Yeah, I lost way more. You just made me lose more respect for this guy. He's already married to a witch. But now, on top of that, he's apparently a talentless hack. I mean, come on, man. Pick a lane to be a loser in and stick to it.
And
Either don't know how to pick your women or don't know how to make shows. Don't do both.
And what you said is the exact problem. He will not.
All right, yeah, let's move on. I feel like some of these punches are hitting personal here.
And you look stupid in that hat. Take off our hat. You are not a Texan, boy. I'm from Texas. You ain't a Texan. I don't want to see your ass in a cowboy hat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I almost went up.
Can't say it.
I stopped myself at the last minute. Oh, I almost went way off, man. We don't play in Texas. Oh, God. I almost said something. I'm about to get us canceled upside down.
Right. So, Sim's team says values are unchanged ahead of potential Saudi EA deal.
And? Wait a minute. Is this like that famous thing of people that say, I'm not afraid of a bullet? And you have to point out to them that it isn't fear that makes a bullet kill you. You know, it's like, I ain't scared of guns. That has nothing to do with the effect the gun's going to have on your body. Our values are unchanged. What's that got to do with what's about to happen? The Saudi team does not care about your feelings or values at all. All you've done is said, fire us. You put a target on your head.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing for the Sims team to do is just to stay quiet and to keep doing what they're doing, because they are making money. And if you keep making money, eyes won't go towards you. Yeah. But if you
talk that crap.
But if you go, look over here,
you do not look at people who put this much money on a company and go, you ain't gonna do nothing. Okay.
But I mean, Sims is one of those few franchises that EA has that has been relatively popular, relatively profitable, and I think for the Sims team to change their values would hurt the Sims franchise, because its target audience is one that does want those values. Here's the thing. Now, as much as a lot of people talk about, they have all this different stuff, they also have the option to turn those things off in your settings. So,
look, I've met Sims fans. Oh, go ahead, man.
With that, it allows for people who don't want some of this stuff, they can still play The Sims and not have it, And that's all that most gamers even want. They just don't want to be slapped around in the face with something.
Yeah, like give me the ability to choose what I want in my game to a certain degree, especially if it's controversial. Because controversial doesn't mean bad. It just means controversial. It means everybody's not into it. And let's be real, certain content is most definitely controversial. Now, I don't care about any of that. I don't care what their values are. You went into details on it. My whole point is I was going to look at Bloodaxe and go, hey, Bloodaxe, we used to work together. Man, tell me how much that company cared about our feelings. Yeah, our values. Our values were zero to them. So this talk means nothing. You just talking crap and drawing attention. And let me tell you something. They don't play. From what I know. I might be wrong. I might be ignorant. But they don't play over there. I don't think you talk crap. Because they'll fire you even if you are making money if you talking trash. Is what I believe will happen. I think they'll totally go, wait.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
They think we won't do nothing. Bloodaxe, what you think? You think they won't do nothing?
Shoot. Sometimes the best thing you could possibly do is just keep your mouth shut and do your job. Because in most businesses, if you're making money, they're going to let you keep making money for the company. But if you're running your mouth and you're drawing unnecessary attention to yourself, well, guess what? Then the higher ups have to look more into it. And sometimes you don't want them looking at how messy your desk is or some of the other things. And so it's, you're right. Most companies, they have core values for the company. And to a certain extent, that extends to their employees. But at the end of the day, if you're losing them money, or worse yet, if you're causing a problem, they're gonna either replace you or shit can the project. And that's not something that you want to have done in situations like this, because you've got something that's not for everybody, but there's a niche audience, but it's massively profitable. When we do the math, it was, how much was it that if you had to buy all the Sims content?
Oh, thousands. It was thousands. Yeah,
$2,000 or $3,000. The fact that you have enough of a catalog to say that, which other than Star Citizen, no other game has something like that. Keep your mouth shut, do your job, and whenever they get ready to do The Sims 5, hey, we made all this money in the past. Let's keep doing what we're doing. And in most cases, you know what? Do your thing. But if you start pounding the table and asking for demands, you're going to start drawing unnecessary attention that you probably don't want.
Well, there's another thing too. I just thought about this as a boss, and from a concept of we all have our little projects or businesses, and it's like yeah, I can think of a scenario that I'm dealing with now where it's like you've got to also, you're the new boss. You just bought the company. You can't really let people challenge your authority. You don't want to start off on that foot, or everybody's going to start doing whatever they want. So they're creating a scenario where they may have to be made an example out of to establish authority. That's a dumb thing to do. The new boss rolls in and you immediately challenge his authority, and he's like, well, now I got to do something about you, because if I don't, everybody's going to think they can do whatever they want. So it's a very dumb thing, but then again, oh, okay, that'll get us canceled as well. All right, let's just keep going. I'm about to get us. Man, I am on a cliff on both sides. I keep wanting to make comments and observations, and they're just observations, but I know I'll get in trouble for these observations.
Yeah, I mean, currently you can get all the Sims content for around $2,000. If you were to buy the Sims at full cost, all the content would have cost around $70,000. But as time goes on, prices drop for older content. So,
yeah, well, like I said, don't put them in a position where they have to make a decision. Because here's the thing: it'll keep making money if they change the team. I've looked at the content. It's not brilliant. It's just, it fits its niche well. They could probably replace the whole Sims team, and most people wouldn't even notice if nobody told them they did it. And to be real, it's what I would do.
Dude, I mean,
that's what I would do. I would just go in and go, yeah, I want you to get rid of 50% of them and bring in new people. Have the previous 50% train a new 50%, then get rid of that and replace the whole team.
Most of the new content for Sim boils down to cosmetic and building blocks, you know?
And they're not that impressive with cosmetics, dude. I've seen them. So like I said, anybody can do their job. That's another thing. Don't talk crap if you're not essential. You know, like if you're not doing something that's really essential, you might also want to chill. I mean, I know modders that make better.
I was about to say, I've seen mods for Sims that do drastically more than any single update.
And that's who I'd hire. I'd go hire the modders, and I'd fire all the people. First, I'd start with whoever wrote that, and then anybody that works real close with him. I'm sorry, dude. I'm a terrible new boss, because I show up and somebody's talking shit day one. I'm just going to be like, oh, you're gone. And you know what? Even people that like you are gone. Like, you're now a splash radius of people that's got to leave.
So what you're saying,
people who will miss you.
What you're saying is you operate more like Ubisoft.
Yes, you looked at me crazy at my reaction to this.
So Ubisoft Studio unionizes in Canada and is immediately shut down by Ubisoft, which fires 71 people at the Ubisoft Halifax office.
That's small.
Go ahead before I say something, because I'm going to be the bad guy in this. So let's hear from the rest of y'all before I do my villain rant.
I mean, basically, yeah. Now, dude, I mean, Ubisoft's already done this. Ubisoft has already taken a stance against unionization. We've seen that they don't like unions, and they will come up with a reason to fire you if you unionize. Now, it's a little weird, I think, that that they did unionize, just out of the fact of this was a studio that Ubisoft bought. And there was claims from people at the studio that since Ubisoft bought them, the working environment had gotten better.
Then why form a union?
So, yeah.
Oh, y'all ready? That all y'all got?
Dude, I ain't got much to say. I'm with you in the fact that, look, I mean, you got to do what you got to do as a corporation.
I'll go more. I just looked it up, dude. Okay, we know that Ubisoft had Tencent invested them heavily. by several other studios. I also forgot that Ubisoft had stated they had plans to streamline.
Yes.
How dumb are you to put a target on your head when Ubisoft has actively said they were about to...
Yeah, that was Ubisoft's response when they were asked why they canned this division. They're like, well, we're streamlining.
But they already said they were. Here's what I said to these guys. I was cracking jokes. I said, Ubisoft can't afford a union. Ubisoft has major money problems right now. Freaking Assassin's Creed Shadows bombed horribly. Tencent has taken several licenses and made another studio. They need to trim the fat. Ubisoft had to be so happy. They're like, man, we gotta let somebody go. We gotta make more money. We're gonna have to fire somebody. We already, like, what are we gonna do? And then somebody just walked in the door. Hey, our studio is unionizing, and you're going. And they're like, oh, thank goodness. Who are you, Halifax? Excellent. Get out, all of you. All of us? Yeah, no, the whole studio's gone. Well, that was easy, man. We didn't have to worry about it. They practically quit. You might as well say that they quit. They walked in that office and turned in letters of resignation instead of a union form. Ubisoft is not in the position to tolerate this. I'm not saying unions are bad. I'm not for union busting. But I also say that when a company's on fire, they're not going to stop and listen to you. They're on fire. They need to fire people. You walk in their office with a complaint. If you don't like your boss, this ain't the time to open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? They are firing people. They're going to fire everybody that becomes a problem. And even more so, I literally just said this about Saudi. You want to know who don't play about unions? China. China don't put up with unions. So I bet Tencent looked at them and they just said, yeah, you're right. And they're gone. It's crazy. And I'm reading an article where some of the employees had the nerve to go, nobody saw it coming. We were surprised. Yeah, the former Ubisoft worker who worked it out. Yeah, nobody saw it coming because you're stupid.
And then the union was like, oh, well, thank you for your investment. Sucks that you don't have a job.
Yeah, John Huffman is heartbroken. I'm like, dude, you walked in and said, hey, we know there's a lot of problems going on. There's a lot of money issues. You guys are looking for ways to trim the fat. By the way, we decided we're going to unionize our studio. And they were like, thank you. We really needed that. And by the way, you're out. That was it. Because they shut the whole studio down, dude. They did not go for certain people. They shut the whole... By the way, you know what? Let's check. Hold on. We got a moment. Y'all seen us do this. Who is Halifax? What have they done? What did they have to bring to the table to think that they can make demands? Now I want to know who Ubisoft Halifax is. I bet you...
I think they had to do with their mobile game division, Let's see.
I can't barely find nothing. This studio doesn't seem like...
Yeah, they're a Canadian game studio and specialize in games for mobile.
Yeah, that's it. There's no real talk about, but what games? Like, there's not a wiki page. Like, I can't... So it sounds like some little offshoot studio got ballsy and decided to go at the... They're known for titles like Assassin's Creed Rebellion and Rainbow Six Mobile.
Now
I don't know what any of those are.
Now they do say they are going. The union is going to try to take legal action, but I doubt that'll go anywhere. Though Canada is
How
also
can they take
getting
legal action in their financial status? That don't matter if they're in Canada. It's with the current status of Ubisoft, they can easily go, we can't afford to keep them.
Well, no, and like I said, once again, that was basically Ubisoft's response. We're streamlining. We didn't need this office anymore.
Dude, I'm checking too. They don't have a crap to their name to act like they were making them money. I mean, they only had a 70-ish member team. So this was just utter stupidity. They did not have the weight to throw around. I think they would have been fired even if Ubisoft was healthy. They probably looked at them and said, yeah, you're not making us any money. Because I'm reading. I'm just not seeing it, dude. I'm not trying to be an a-hole. I'm on the site, and I'm not seeing anything about Halifax. that would explain why they would even care at all. But given that Ubisoft just had a major buy-in, that's usually when you see a lot of layoffs and all that, a lot of changes. They're not getting anything. They're not going to get a penny.
Good news for some. Xbox is having an event coming up, and supposedly there will be gameplay of Fable. Yeah.
I thought that game was dead.
A lot of people thought it was dead. That's why this is news. Now, apparently they will have an event January 22nd in which they will be having a deep dive in Forza Horizon 6. There's supposed to be news on first in-depth look at Beast of Reincarnation, and Fable gameplay will also be present. There's also been rumor that there's a fourth announcement of a new game.
Elder Scrolls.
So
I think it's going to be Elder Scrolls. There were leaks that we talked about. I think they're going to announce something about Elder Scrolls. It's the only thing that can save Xbox right now. Their only hope is Elder Scrolls, and you're not getting it outside of Xbox for a year. They got to pull an Epic. Otherwise, they ain't going to make the year, man. But Fable gameplay, we've already saw really terrible gameplay that didn't look that impressive.
We didn't see any gameplay, dude. I don't think we saw a lick of gameplay.
I saw a spell cast and a couple of sword swings. They've shown it before. There was a little bit of combat in something they showed before. It looked, didn't wow me. And I don't think we're going to, put it like this. What gameplay we see, I don't think will impress anybody. And we don't need gameplay. We need to know what the hell this is about, because nobody knows if you can make your own character or if you have to play that really unpleasant look, him or her. You know, you're going to play Humphrey or the character that's clearly based off of that one dev everybody found a picture of. You know, but I don't want to play either one of these two characters at all. In fact, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to pull the card. I want my diversity. I want to make my own character. I don't feel included in this. I feel I'm unsafe. What is it? That one? Unsafe? I feel unsafe. I want to make my own damn character. I feel not represented. Seriously, I'd like to actually make my own character. One thing in Fable is annoying is I tried to tan my character because Molyneux is a lying bastard. He told me I could tan my character if I walked around with no shirt on in Fable. I kept trying to get a nice golden caramel brown. And you know how much I walked around in that game with no shirt on? You don't know. I was like, man, Flynn probably remembers. He would see me playing and I had no shirt on because I'm trying to tan this pasty white boy and get a nice tan going so I can look a little more like I want to. And I cannot tan, and Peter Molyneux is a lying bastard. That's why. And in this one, I don't even look like I either got to be an old, drunk white guy or a butterface, redhead. No, I'd rather make a brother. Yeah, see? She said he remembers. I ran around trying to tan. Y'all don't know. I played hours in the sun. I'd make sure there weren't trees. I was like, let the sunlight hit me. Peter said I could tan. Peter said I could tan my character. I ended up looking like Xenodamus. I had magic tattoos, my hair was gray, I was bald, and I had a beard. I was like, alright, I'm Xenodamus in this game. I'd like to be Q, but I'm Xenodamus. Second game, still couldn't get a nice chocolate color going. Third game, still couldn't even get a nice tan, I couldn't even be a red bone. So let me make my own character, and let me put some melanin in him. Why y'all always walk the wrong ways? You never accomplish what I want. Like, let me make a black character in Fable. There is some inclusive I would like. Finally get to play as one of my characters. Instead, I'm looking at these characters and I'm like, oh my god, that is an ugly pair of people.
It is.
That's coming from us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, oof. I don't want to play as either one of those characters. I'm going to be honest, I don't. I don't want to play as either one of those characters, man. So that's probably why I'm so bitter, because I don't want to play as either one.
Well, if you don't want to play Fable,
but
I've
Elder
got
Scrolls.
the game for you. It's called Pathways. It's a game made by the UK government or funded by the UK government that is for children. And if they don't think right, the game will threaten them to be reported as terrorists or right-wing extremists.
Yes, they can be referred to prevent for their values. So it's literally a Big Brother indoctrination software that will snitch on you. And remember, in the UK right now, you can be arrested for wrong thing. You literally can go to jail for anything that's considered wrong thing. Like, they are a full totalitarian state right now. So it's like this game will threatens to report you, and they'll come knock on your door. I've seen footage of it, dude, of them like, hey, your social posts were this. They are practicing a full police state. Like, I'm amazed that we have all these people over here bitching about America, and there's like a actual particular, we won't use that trigger word, a particular regime, a particular high-stepping regime that's literally happening in the UK right now, like full police state, dystopian police state going down, and nobody is paying attention to it or cares. And I'm like, I think somebody got arrested over there for like a freaking Instagram post, man.
In-game meter tracks how extreme the character's behavior becomes. Early choices include whether to download a video from a gaming platform or tell an adult about it. Players who lose may receive counseling for ideological thoughts or face referral to anti-terrorism expert.
Why would anybody in the right mind buy and play this stupid game?
It's probably given out for free because it's meant to indoctrinate your kids and report them to the government. It's basically spyware in the form of a game that's meant to monitor you and threaten your kids or report them so the government can come force them into re-education. Because, sorry, that counseling sounds a lot like re-education camps. Oops, I said the word. Camps.
Now these are the worst game titles ever. But Charlie apparently encounters video games, or a video claiming Muslim men are stealing the places of British veterans in emergency accommodation, and the government is betraying white British people, and we need to take back control of our country. Wow, man, that is okay. That is too political. But just the fact that they made a video game and decided to
make it super, well, it's the crossover in the real world. It's the fact that it's not a game; it's software that's monitoring you and deciding if the government needs to come get you. Because remember, like, I'm not kidding. There are laws in the UK about that. Yeah, like, you could get in trouble. Like, we would be arrested if we lived in the UK. I'm not kidding. We would all have gotten arrested. Like, their laws right now are atrocious and horrifying. I can anonymously report that Bloodaxe profiled me, and they will go knock on his door. And that, like, no evidence really required. They'll go knock on his door and go looking for him. It's insane over there right now. I've seen horror videos. So, and I'm not saying this talking about that. I'm just saying, but the fact that this game has crossed that line is terrifying. That this game will, like, send information to suggest counseling or contact a government organization about you is really messed up, man. That's crazy.
I hear you.
We're really just doing a PA of, hey, be careful. This game, if you're in the UK, is not a game. Don't let your kids play this unless you're confident that they're going to pass. Otherwise, and we all know that the goalposts keep moving. So, I don't know.
Speaking of games that cross lines, Borderlands 4 players really aren't happy. apparently the few left playing the game are now complaining that about the drop rates being decreased again after the holiday event. And
that was temporary. We knew that.
Doesn't mean people aren't going to be upset about it.
0.6. Yes, they did announce that the event was temporary. I agree. But 2.6. The current 24-hour peak is 2.6% of their all-time peak. They have lost 97% of their player base on a game before the first year passed and before the first paid-for DLC from their battle passes dropped. They haven't even managed to start getting out the freaking DLC for the first battle pass, or whatever it's called. Season pass, you know what's the word, Bloodaxe? What do they call their stupid crap?
You mean they're, well, they have their DLC coming out, but...
Yeah, I thought I had a name for the pack.
It was a content update versus...
Yeah, so their pre-order, they're big. You paid $100 for a version where you get the 3-4 content.
Oh, their season pass, yeah.
Season pass. Their first season pass has not officially started because they ended up not counting the first bounty pass. Their first season pass content has not come out yet. The paid for content, they're down to 2.6%.
Now
I've never seen this drop.
Now Gearbox,
this is worse than Vanguard.
Gearbox does say the team saw the positive reception and are investigating a longer-term increase for the drop rates. For the game being good, they probably won't ever say anything. We'll probably get Tiny Tina and it'll just disappear. But, no, dude. I mean, here's the thing, dude. Back in November, there was articles talking about a 95% loss already of player base. So, I mean, the fact that it's down to like 2.5%, I guess, I mean, when you lost 95% out the door, sitting at 2.5%.
No, it was 80-something at first. It was 80-something. Then it hit 95.
Yeah, so
now it's 97.5 isn't. I mean, I don't know, man. The fact that they couldn't bring them back with free shit, like they gave away one of their supposedly supposed to be paid DLCs, and they still couldn't get people to come back.
$100. You're looking at $300 of idiots in front of you on your screen right now. And I have no hope, because if they only got 2.6 of the people, why even bother putting out anything good? I was generous and suggested they might be able to get back up to like 30% when they do the story expansion. You looked at me like I was crazy. You're like, you think they can get up to 30% of their original numbers? And I was like, no, but I'm trying to be optimistic. They're so bad off that if they quadrupled their current numbers, they would barely hit double. They would like, that'd be like 10%. Like, that's how bad the drop off is. They would need a miracle. They would need a because nobody's talking about the game. No Man's Sky had eyes on it while it was making its fixes. It was always a talking point. The games that didn't Moxie and Jolt Dude were talking about, they were mostly done. Jolt Dude, I think, put a video out about why he was basically like, I tried, but I did. Yeah, he's like, I tried. I don't know what to do with this. And Moxie hadn't put a video out for weeks, I think, and then he finally just kind of did a Vex video, but he had a long hiatus for him. And I'm like, this game's dead. It's dead. And it's dead before it even, and it owes us a lot of content. Like, we don't have just like a little bit. Don't we have like multiple minor updates and a story update? They owe us 2 Vault Hunters. They haven't even shown us a video of Cash. They showed us a picture. They ain't done shit since they shown that picture. They owe us a Cash and a whole other Vault Hunter, a major story expansion, multiple bounty packs paid for. I'm terrified. because I'm looking at this and going like, yeah, but who bothers to do that when nobody's playing? And if it wasn't for Redfall, I wouldn't be this scared. But Redfall proved to us that it's possible that a company just never freaking does it. We checked that game for over a year, didn't we, Bloodaxe Xeno? Didn't we keep going back to check Redfall for the content update?
Did.
We tried.
They never did it. So now I'm looking at this and going like, are we going to even get it? Because technically, they don't have to put it out at a certain time. They can wait a year and dump some half-ass crap that they just stripped out of another game. They just throw like something they pulled out of Borderlands 3, rip flak and just throw them in the game, because this is running the Borderlands 3 engine, and just be done with it. I don't expect them to follow through, because even I would have a hard time pulling a Will Smith and like showing up and doing a concert for like 12 people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's got to be hard to walk out there and there's nobody there, no matter how, you know what I'm saying? And that's the problem they're facing. There's nobody there to play the game almost. So why would you spend a huge amount of, because they already got our money. Let's be realistic here. They got our money. Why would they spend a huge amount of effort putting out high quality content now that everybody's left and they've already got our money? That's my concern. They did it to us Tiny Tina's. They've proven they're capable of going, we're going to throw out some half-ass crap and stop supporting it almost immediately. I'm almost worried they're going to just go drop, trash. We're done. You know, we're fleeing to Mexico with the money. And, you know, I mean, go ahead. I got my rant out. What do y'all think? Because, I mean, am I crazy? I don't see them bothering.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I think they'll bother. It'd just be half-assed. Because, I mean, in the end, Redfall had to give a refund. In the end, Tiny Tina's did provide the DLC that you paid for. If you bought the season pass.
It wasn't good, but they did.
Yeah, it was half-assed.
Absolute garbage.
I don't think they will push out a refund, so I do think they will do the DLC. They said it will just be the minimal amount of work possible.
There is currently 3,689 24-hour peak on Borderlands 3. I point this out to say on Steam, to say that they are barely double the number. There's barely double the amount of people playing Borderlands 4 and Borderlands 3. And Borderlands 3's all-time peak was only 93,000.
Yeah.
Which means they still have had a vastly smaller drop-off from their peak.
Yeah.
Today, well after the game's been out a long time, than Borderlands 4.
And additionally, Borderlands 3 did not even get released on Steam day one. It had a 6-month delay. It was released on Epic day one. So,
So, like I said, their drop-off is not as bad as the drop-off of And I mean, I'm trying to be fair here. I'm trying to be fair here. Dude, I wouldn't put in that much effort in this situation. I can understand it. I'm just the victim of it. I wouldn't bust my ass and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars or even 10 or 20 thousands of dollars on a team cranking out a really elaborate DLC when nobody's going to probably come back to play it. I wouldn't. You'd have to be crazy. That's the truth. You'd have to be crazy. You'd have to be crazy to do that. So even I'm sitting here going like, I get it, but I don't want it to happen to me, but I get it. Like, if they do this, they will shock me. If they put out an amazing update, they will shock me. Now, I will say this, though. DLC was always their hotspot. I don't know what the heck happened with the Wonderlands, but Borderlands is known for some amazing DLC content. That's the only hope that I have of anything, is that whoever does the DLC takes their job serious. I honestly do not believe they had the same people that did the DLC for 1, 2, and 3 working on Wonderlands. That clearly was a side team. And they did side team work. But
yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, at this point, all we can do is see. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, the game's pretty much dead as far as looking at that percentage of drop. That is a death sentence. That is going to hurt whatever they do in the future. So they should feel lucky they got our $100, and because I don't see that ever happening again.
Oh, dude. I will not buy a Borderlands game that has not been out for at least a year again for the rest of my life. Minimum, it's got to sit up for a year. I'm making a vow. Y'all hold me to it out there. I'm making a vow. It's got to be out for a year. Or, I'll give this caveat, if it is amazing somehow, if it actually is amazing, but that's...
see, as soon as you start giving caveats, you...
Well, the caveat is, well, if, like, the game comes out and 3 or 4 months later, they, like, are really, like, it's freaking like Skyrim, it's the greatest game, and everybody's hailing it the greatest game, okay. That's a fair caveat to me to go. But no, I said amazing. I didn't say good. I mean, I'm talking about it's like game of the year contender. All right, then I might. But, dude, do you think that's going to happen? I mean, come on. I don't know what to expect. Even though I do believe they're about to announce Elder Scrolls at the upcoming Xbox event, I'm still on the fence if it's going to be worth my money to buy. Like, I don't know if it's a game I'd buy on release, because Bethesda crapped the bed with Starfall. I'm not, or Field. Well, you know what? Fall seems fair. It fell. But Starfail crapped the bed and has made me lose confidence in Bethesda. Plus, let's be real. Game's going to come out a buggy, hot mess when it comes out anyway. Might as well wait until the modders fix it. You know, wait until the first mod patch, the unofficial, like, you know, some patch comes out to fix the busted up game. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm done. I'm just heartbroken that I just said that about an Elder Scrolls game that I was looking forward to, but I meant it. That I don't think I want to buy it on release because I just don't trust Bethesda either anymore.
I get it. But at that's going to wrap us up, dude. But I got no more to say about Borderlands, man. You know me, I've been done for a while. You guys are just now coming to terms with it. I came to terms with it months ago.
Oh yeah, you quit. You actually pulled a Bloodaxe. It was the reverse. I bought Bloodaxe to quit on a bad game fast. I don't blame him. He's smart. He got better things to do at his time. He held out to play with me. He toughed it out. He did the same thing in Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I got to give him credit. He's a trooper. He held out, and he was having a miserable experience with Harlow. The number of times he said, "I hate this game," while we were playing, and every time it hurt my heart because I was like, I know, but it's got to get better, right? And it's like, no. And while that's happening, Zeno's over there like, oh, hey, yeah, No Man's Sky had a new update. You know, he literally played he hasn't played like the Mercenary Day. He was out a long time ago. He didn't come back for any of the updates. None of them. He paid the money. I hope he'll at least come back for the crap he paid for, but I don't know. He may not come back for the story expansion. I'm not sure.
We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where you find links everywhere we are online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.